This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Gooder Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, November the 2nd, in year 1990, history would be made in the NBA. As for the first time ever, there would be a neutral site NBA game, regular season game. A lot of preseason games have been played overseas, but this was the first time that there would be a regular season game not played in the US or Canada. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that doesn't make sense, Jeff, because doesn't Canada, like, well, this is before 1995. How dare you say that Canada's included in there? Well, the problem is that the Toronto Huskies were part of the NBA, or the precursor to the NBA, the NBL. Or was it the BWAA? Regardless of that, they played in the first NBA sanctioned regular season game in 1946 on home turf at Maple Leaf Gardens against the Knicks. So practically, the Suns and the Jazz were going to play in the land of the rising sun. I wonder if Phoenix was sent there on purpose. But regardless of that, Phoenix and Utah would play at Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium and would play in the first ever NBA game played outside of North America. There, are you happy? So what ends up happening is that the NBA has played many times outside of North America since. Phoenix and Utah would play a double dip. But what people don't know is this wasn't the only time that the NBA would have regular season games in Japan. In 1992, Seattle and Houston would play 2 games in Yokohama. Portland and the Clippers would also play in Japan at Yokohama Arena in 94. In 1996, Orlando and New Jersey would play at the Tokyo Dome. Orlando playing, of course, Suns Shaq for the first time. Houston and Dallas played in Mexico City in the regular season in December 1997, one game. Then the Tokyo Dome would host games in 99 with the Timberwolves and the Kings, and 2003 there were 2 games between the Clippers and the Sonics. Then the NBA stopped going overseas till 2011 when they went to the O2 Arena in London and would have the Raptors face the Nets in a 2-game series, which the Raptors got their butts handed to them in the first game, but won the second game. Lost the second game. Then the O2 Arena in Mexico City Arena would host many games and all that. Well, today, November 2nd, 2024, Miami and Washington will play at Mexico City Arena for a game there. And in 2025, France will host a 2-game series between the Spurs and the Pacers, no doubt influenced by Tony Parker. So the Suns would face the Jazz. The Utah Jazz had Karl Malone, the mailman from Louisiana Tech, John Stockton, the great point guard, assist and steals guy from Gonzaga. You have Jeff Malone, who was once famous for making a shot with the Washington Bullets that defied gravity. Viral Bailey, a very strong player from NC State and part of the 1983 team that won the title. And Mark Eden, a great shot blocker from, I can't remember where he's from. I would have said USC, but I'm probably wrong. The reserves were Blue Everts, future Vancouver Grizzly, Mike Brown, not that Mike Brown, as in a lot of Mike Browns, Delaney Rudd, Dale Griffith, Dr. Duncanstein, as he was known for his time with the Louisville Cardinals, Walter Palmer, Andy Toolson, and Chris Munk. On the other side of the coin, Phoenix had KJ, Kevin Johnson, who was a great point guard, future mayor of Sacramento, and future disgraced mayor when his crimes were outed. Tom Chambers, great power forward who was still kicking around. Mark West, great player. Jeff Hornacek, who would be a future Utah Jazz and 76er. And Kurt Rambis, who went all around the place. He was a three-time NBA champion with the Lakers, and then he went to Minnesota in the expansion draft, and then the Suns took him. So this would be Ramos's first game in Phoenix. Dan Marley was a reserve. He was a three-point guard from Central Michigan who was fantastic. Kenny Battle was also there too. Can't remember where he went to school. Eddie Johnson, future Laker, I think. Tim Perry, real Tim Perry. Ed Neely, Ian Lockhart, and a young star by the name of Cedric Ceballos. Well, a future star by the name of Cedric Ceballos. Known for his slam dunk exploits in '92 when he allegedly didn't see the hoop, but he did. So in front of 10,000 fans at Metropolitan Gymnasium in Tokyo, they fought each other. Utah had a 1-point lead after one quarter. Phoenix then outscored Utah in the second quarter to take a 1-point lead to the half, 58-57. And then the Suns from there would crush it with a 119-96 win for the Suns. Tom Chambers would put up 38 points in the win, Kevin Johnson 29, and Dan Marley 16 off the bench, which was pretty impressive. For the Jazz, the Mailman had 33 points, Phil Burley 17, and John Stockton 16. But it didn't matter what happened because history was made. In fact, it was the first time that anyone at the four major leagues went outside North America to play. Football would wait till the 2000s to go to England to play a regular season game. They had never played a regular season game in Canada. Well, they did in 2008, but by then there were a few European games, if memory serves me right. Because I know the Bills played games in Canada when the Skydome had a football field. So yeah, the NFL has had some forays outside of US and Canada, even to Germany. The NHL started experimenting with games outside North America by 1997 with the Canucks and Mighty Ducks playing a two-game series in Japan to promote Nagano 98 for the Olympics and all that. They would head to Europe to play like Finland, Sweden, England, Czech Republic, Russia. I don't think Russia's ever had a regular season NHL game. I know they've had preseason, but I know the regular season. Even Australia, although that was preseason. And of course, Major League Baseball. They waited a while before headed outside North America, like to Mexico, to Hawaii, to Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Japan to play regular season games. But the NBA was the first, and that was just unbelievable. Anyhow, I'm Jeff. I'm gonna do.